Distortions Unlimited has put out their first 2024 sneak peek, The Scarewolf Legend. Let's talk about it. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and welcome to a super exciting video because this is my first ever Halloween 2024 news video. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be more excited to be sitting right here back in the room studio. It has been over 4 months since I have been in this chair giving you Halloween news because obviously in the summer I shift over to doing unboxing videos and store tours, and finally now in November we are back for some brand new news, kicking it off with Halloween 2024, and who better to talk about first than Distortions Unlimited, because ladies and gentlemen, Distortions has put out their first 2024 sneak peek. Obviously, we have gotten used to Distortions releasing their new items around December or November each year for that upcoming Halloween season. I am so happy to say that GMHaunts news videos are back, so sit back, relax, and enjoy as we dive into Distortions' first 2024 sneak peek. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so like I mentioned, the first sneak peek from Distortions is the Scarewolf Legend, and this one is actually very interesting to kick off the 2024 Distortions lineup because this is something very similar to what we saw last season. Last season, we saw Distortions transfer their mutant animatronic into a legend or static prop. You can actually see the mutant legend from last year right there behind me, and now this year, for the first 2024 sneak peek, we are seeing the same transformation, however now from the Scarewolf animatronic that came out as part of Distortions 2023 lineup, now being made into a legend for the 2024 lineup. Now I have to say, I think this was an awesome decision from Distortions. That's kind of interesting, decision from Distortions, because I love the Scarewolf character. Emphasis on that in particular, the character. Since this guy is such a cool, again, character in my opinion, I think he was a perfect choice to make him into a legend, just like Distortions did last year for the mutant. I have to say, one of my favorite things about this guy, and this comes from the animatronic as well, is the face. I just love the face structure that this guy has, the very mean and aggressive just facial expression that the Scarewolf is wearing. I love the teeth as well. Always something we see on Distortions props is the awesome glossiness on the inside of mouths and teeth that we see on different Distortions items, and the Scarewolf is no different. I love how it looks like his mouth is wet and there's saliva just dripping down the teeth. It looks awesome and it makes him look super realistic and super scary. Now, something interesting with the Scarewolf Legend is actually something we also saw with the Mutant Legend, and that is, since the Scarewolf was an animatronic that was mounted to a base, or kind of a, I don't even, like a base behind him on his back, on the animatronic, his arms were stuck to the board. On this legend, they obviously Distortions completely cut the board away from the prop, and they gave him completely posable arms, just like they did with the Mutant Legend. Interestingly enough, this guy does actually have the same sculpture for the hands as we saw on the Mutant Legend, and I think the way the posable arms were delivered and executed on the Scarewolf Legend came out awesome. I always love when an animatronic or a prop has a customizable aspect to the item, and this one is absolutely no different. I love how you can pose his arms to be really high up over his head, all the way to the side, or really a bunch of different aggressive kind of arm posings that will help sell the character. I think in the unboxing video that Distortions released on their YouTube channel with Ed Edmonds, of course the head of Distortions over there, I think it shows off how you can pose the arms in different ways very, very well, and I think that the way they changed him from being on a mounted base on his back to this posable arms was a great transformation. Obviously, the sculpture of this guy is just incredible, just like all Distortions items, and I do have to say, I love that you can see the muscles and the abs on the Scarewolf Legend, because it creates that effect of a werewolf that was transformed from a man originally. Sometimes werewolf characters in pop culture go more to that mystical side of the werewolf character and explore things that are more kind of magical, I guess, in a way. I prefer werewolves that originate from actual people, and I think the Scarewolf, again, this comes from the animatronic as well, his character is one of those werewolves that transferred from a man man originally, and I love that you can see the muscles and the abs because it does show that this Scarewolf did originate from a man at the beginning. I think that also is sold very well with the fact that he has ripped up jeans, because once again it makes it look like it was a guy that ended up turning into a werewolf, perhaps when it was a full moon outside, and I just like that it kind of has those man aspects with the werewolf characteristics at the same time. I have to point out that I love the blue veins that the Scarewolf has, because obviously most of the time on Distortion props we see pinkish / red veins painted onto these items. However, the Scarewolf has kind of a light blue, almost like teal veins all over the body, and I think it looks awesome. It stands out so much from the kind of like grayish skin tone that the Scarewolf has, and I love that because they're very visible, and like I said, they stand out. I love that color, and that actually does, like I just kind of mentioned, how with the mystical aspect, I think that those blue veins start to venture more into the mystical side of werewolves, but I think it's awesome because, like I said, you have those ripped up jeans, you have the abs and the muscles, so he has that man kind of part of the character, and I think the blue veins are just an amazing touch that look really awesome. Now, just like we see with all new Distortions props, the Scarewolf Legend is actually on sale right at release, and his sale release price is $589, $589 USD, with his full price set to be $639, $639 United States dollars. Now, I have to say, I do think he's worth that price tag because, come on, we're talking about Distortions here. The quality is amazing. The craftsmanship is also just on an excellent level, and I do have to point out, like I showed you before, the Mutant Legend right there, who came out last season. I picked him up for right around the same price as we're seeing for the Scarewolf Legend, and I could not be happier with my Mutant Legend. So if you're considering picking up the Scarewolf Legend here and the price is kind of what is making you be on the edge about it, or kind of making a decision about it, I would say go ahead with it. You are 100% going to be happy with this prop. He looks amazing. I love the details on him, and like I said, I got the Mutant Legend for around the same price tag, and I absolutely love my Mutant Legend. But overall, I think the Scarewolf was a great decision to make into a Legend static version. I love the way that this guy looks. I love that he now has posable arms, and like I said, I love the detailing on the teeth. I love those blue veins, and I think the overall character of the Scarewolf is one of the best that Distortions has ever made. I am so excited to continue with the Distortions Unlimited 2024 sneak peeks. Like I said in the beginning, we have gotten used to the fact over the last couple years that Distortions start putting out their items for that upcoming Halloween season around November or December, and this year they started more on the early side with this guy releasing on my birthday, like I said, November 16th, 2023. And by the way, I do have to say thank you to all of the awesome birthday messages that I got over on Instagram on my birthday 2 days ago. That was awesome, and I very much appreciate all of you wishing me a happy birthday on that day. And I mean, come on, this guy coming out of my birthday, that was pretty cool to see. But nonetheless, like I said, I'm incredibly excited to see what else Distortions puts out for the 2024 season, and I think they are starting on a great note with the Scarewolf Legend. But I guess, remember, as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I'll see you guys later for more Distortions Unlimited 2024 videos. Goodbye.